What if I told you there's a way to conquer all of India and the New World with zero aggressive expansion and only as the English Empire? If you're interested, that's exactly what we're doing today. So make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, since this is, after all, the last time we're going to be playing a full English campaign in Europa Universalis 4. Now boys, to give a bit of an overview of the world of 1533, the British Empire is basically everywhere. Not only do we have all of the British Isles and half of France for strategic, making sure France doesn't recover reasons, but we have a true colonial empire. We got the coastlines of Africa under our control. We got all the way into South Africa, and we're making small little enclaves all around the world. By the end of the 1500s, we should have most of the world as our colony. We're also in a pretty intense war with Vijayanagar, from which we're going to get most of the coastline western here, which means we can add that up to the British East India Company, a unique, holy mother of God, I just realized they are ruled by a 665 leader. What? That seems a little bit OP if you ask me. In the New World, we also have colonies around Central America, North and South America, and right now we're focusing on properly taking over all of the Mexican parts because we have a lot of gold provinces, plus because of the unique English ability to choose what type of trade good we can have in our colonies. All of the colonial provinces here are gold provinces, meaning that the colony of Macarena is ridiculously rich. So what I've done is I've made a copy of the save game, and I will let you guys choose. Do you want me to start as Macarena, form the United States, and maybe do a world conquest in the process as a separate playthrough from 1533, or you want me to continue playing and then we release ourselves as another colony, smaller, and have to fight against Macarena around the late 1500s and basically do that as the US playthrough? That being said, this run as the British, we're going to continue till 1821, till the end of the campaign, since this is, after all, the final British campaign. So rest assured, I'm only asking you for the time at which we start the US campaign, but the British campaign will see itself all the way till the end of the game. Now, we just got some claims on Campeche, so that's going to be our next target too. We've got our army right here. We're going to make sure we position ourselves in Xilalanco, and we're going to have to focus on two sides of the planet at the same time right now. We also have some colonies around the Indonesian archipelago, the most juicy of which are the colonies in the Spice Islands, because all of these are producing cloves. Remember, we can choose what trade goods they produce, and obviously we're going to make sure that they produce cloves, the most expensive trade good in the game. This is also our foothold for expanding into one of the richer nodes, the Malacca and the Moluccas trade nodes, both of which will be filtering into the English Channel eventually. Right now, we're not making too much. We're only making roughly around 88 ducats from the English Channel, but we can make significantly more, and this will only ramp up the more we go into the campaign. We also need to get some more generals, so let's make sure we get our admirals, not generals, for the fleets. Remember that higher maneuver for your admirals increases your trade power. So now we're at 88. After a month has passed, there you go, we went up to 90% simply because of those extra 6 maneuver pips for the general, for the admiral. I keep calling them generals, I don't know why. Another thing we could do to improve that is make sure we upgrade our centers of trade to level 3. We could right now get 6 centers of trade to level 3, so we're going to get the 4 main ones that we have in the British Isles, and we're going to upgrade the one in Calais and the one in Cotentin as well, just to ensure we have absolute hegemony over the English Channel, even without getting the rest of the Netherlands provinces. Let's see who Campeche is allied to. They're allied to Chactamal. Didn't we just have a war with Chactamal? Wait, no, that's Choki. Oh, that's actually perfect. That actually is perfect, because it means we can connect our provinces both in the north and the south, and then we just have a couple more Aztecs left and we're done with this area. Meanwhile, the Great Mewar has been reduced to the one province of Gorwar, and that's it. Hey, would you look at that? Macarena has enough soldiers to help me out in the colonial wars too now. Not only that, Cuba Not Libre also has some units that they're, well, it's 1,000. Maybe I shouldn't give them that much of a pep talk, should I now? Okay, we're waiting until these guys have gotten movement lock, so now we can just intercept them in that province, and it is absolutely a bye-bye, boys. No more freedom for you. Let's see what we're going to produce in this province. This is, oh, we could potentially get gems in the province of Buru, but no, we got the cloves, so we're going to make sure cloves is the one that's going to end up being in this province. Also going to make sure we enforce peace, because the northern nations have sneakily attacked Louis Anal, and we don't want that to happen now, do we? We don't want to lose our Louis Anal colony, do we now? It's really one of the best colonies ever. The Vijayanagar fleet has nothing on us. We have the the strongest fleet in the world because we got the Man of War ships, the unique British Empire ship that gives morale damage plus 15% for navies, which is absolutely astonishing. Speaking of, we do need a few more Man of War ships. Once we have 40, we can do one more mission here, the Rule Britannia mission that gives until the end of the game trade steering plus 25 and lowers Liberty Desire from other continents as well as ship trade power. So yeah, it is an extremely overpowered mission. In fact, most of the British Empire path missions are super OP. I really want to do this mission here, Master of India, get 200 provinces within the Indian subcontinent. And honestly, I just want to finish all of the British missions. Pretty funny how editing works. For you guys, it probably seemed like a second between that frame and the next frame, but the reality is that a few hours have passed IRL for me. And the stray cat that we've had for a while now has given birth like a month ago, and we always were wondering, where are the kittens? Where could the kittens be? Well, she just brought the kittens like an hour ago, like an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. She brought the kittens. She brought one little kitten, adorable little thing, 1 month old, barely walks, and I could tell that she has more. So I walked with her, and we ended up in a neighbor's house, and I got permission from the neighbor. We checked the attic, and she had another 3 kittens in the attic. So now I've got 4 little kittens in the room next to me, and I gotta figure out what to do with them. I'm thinking to make them like a little bit of I put them in a cardboard box now, but I gotta set it up everything because oh my god, they're so cute. I've had like a horrible week, and these little kittens have honestly just brightened up my whole everything. Really, I can't believe how adorable they are right now. Okay, what the hell happened in the new world in the meanwhile? Wasn't I at war with these people? Did they just get fully annexed by their neighbors? Bruh. Okay, seriously. What's up with this? Why are we getting fortifications at 99%? Can I just, like, for once? Luckily for us, we're the first ones to start colonizing Micronesia, and I say luckily because the monument that we get here also makes it easier for us to colonize afterwards. Also, seeing as we have a lot of diplo points lying around, I think I'm gonna do something that is gonna piss off a lot of Norman people. I am gonna be converting the Norman areas to English for the simple reason that I can, and I got extra diplo points lying around, so that's pretty much it. That way, I don't need to have Norman as an accepted culture. I can change it to something else. I don't know, Breton or Walloon or whatever the case. Actually, speaking of, maybe I should make the Bretons also English. I mean, everybody knows the Britons would like to be English, right? End of the day. And what the hell is this in the north as well? I mean, really? No, I was wondering why I haven't gotten the event for Anglicanism yet, and then I realized that I am Defender of the Faith, which means I cannot get the event. So we gotta lose a war to stop being Defender of the Faith in order to actually get Anglicanism. I absolutely love the fact that because I don't have actual vision over most of the Indian sultanates here, I don't get that many nations in a coalition right now. I'm gonna piece them out right now because I have a few other things I need to focus on. I just realized I made a mistake though. I forgot to give these provinces to the East India Company before actually taking them in the peace deal. So I'm gonna have to do my peace deal with the Quiche in order to do any other wars, because if I don't do the peace deal, I'm gonna be stuck with these provinces that I am not gonna bother coring up. I mean, I would be insane to actually core up all of these lands for myself now. There we go. We spent a little bit of extra mana, but we assaulted that fort so we can quickly piece these bastards out, and we've basically done the exact same thing with the Chorti. Oh, Quiche unconditionally surrendered. Well, that's basically GG's, isn't it? There you go. Full annexation. Take all the money they got, and nobody gives a single schnappadobs. My beloved Macarena is way bigger than it probably should be for its own good, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Now that we're at peace, let's do what I said earlier and give the East India Company a buttload of provinces. And yes, that's in fact an actual measurement unit, in case you're wondering. Because we've grown the size of the East India Company, we managed to get an extra 2 merchants right now. So we're gonna put these bad boys to use. We're gonna assign one of them to transfer trade from the Coromandel into the Cape of Good Hope, which is gonna filter into our node eventually. And same here from Gujarat, we're gonna be filtering again towards Zanzibar, which eventually is gonna filter into the English Channel node. Main issue is we don't have that much trade power in these nodes for now, but we're going to be building some ships in a few moments to help out with that, and we're also going to be taking some more provinces. I love how you can start wars in colony with the East India Company against Bahmani, Sindh, Bengal, Venice, and Genoa for some reason too. A trade dispute, bruh. That's actually funny. What we'll be doing is we'll be attacking Bahmanis next because Ming is not going to help them since they're bankrupt, and Delhi, I'm not even sure has more than a province because I have not seen them anywhere so far. Also, it just occurred to me that my explorer had passed away and I didn't even realize. Since we are next to these natives too, we might as well, you know, make our borders prettier. Come on. Everybody's thinking it. We're not saying it out loud, but we all know that we just want to make borders. This whole freaking game is about making borders prettier. Oh, wow. I don't know where Delhi is. I don't see him. Oh, my God. Okay, I see him now. Yeah, they're pretty big. They're pretty decent size. They got 36,000, not that big, but I was expecting them to have a couple of provinces. So now we're fighting 60,000 with our 50,000, way better units than they're ever gonna have. I mean, look at this. We've literally wiped the floor with these bastards. We're gonna wipe the floor with the other ones to the north. I think I'm gonna focus on Delhi to get him out of the war first. Do I want to spend that many extra mana points and in exchange get 8 innovation and have literal guns? Well, that's a tough decision, isn't it? No, it's not. Look at that. Look at my boys. Look at him. Look at him right now. They got goons, boys. They're hand gooners. Yep, I played way too much EU5, boys. Way too much. I kind of regret it a little bit. I pretty much spend 16 hours a day for almost 2 weeks playing that freaking game, and now going back to EU4. It's a weird feeling, man. It's like I got hooked on that game, and now I got cold turkey. Cannot play it anymore, which really sucks. Not gonna lie, that really sucks. Which is a good thing because it means the game is good already before it even got released, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't have this type of addiction sort of feeling towards it, would I now? Truth is, guys, when you're doing a run as the British and you really want to have a British Empire sort of expansion, the reality is that the early 1500s up until the 1600s is when you should really expand as much as possible. Get a little bit of a foothold here, a little bit of a foothold there, because afterwards, it's not necessarily the problem that you're going to have natives that you need to worry about, but the problem is going to be that the Europeans are going to catch up. So you're going to have a massive Spanish, maybe French, maybe Portuguese empire that you're going to have to fight that's going to be rivaling you around the world. In our case, France is not going to be it because I intentionally took most of their coastline just so I can prevent them from going colonial. And even if they do go colonial, they're going to not be able to do much, let's face it. But I do have a pretty significantly massive Spain. They are super colonizing and they've got a pretty massive army, 92,000 as well. So it's going to be tough after the 1600s unless I curve the expansion of the Spanish now, which has been quite significant. South America is dominated by the Spanish, not by me right now. But I like to say that that's just temporary under their control, but really it's going to be mine in a few seconds. So I annexed the Aztecs and I didn't realize that the Aztecs were actually the overlord of Guamar, which means I ended up with Guamar and I cannot break the vassalage until the truce is done in 1551. So I have a literal one province minor subject that I'm stuck with basically here. Oh, actually I got an idea. Why don't we attack Tonala and we lose quote unquote the war, and as we lose the war we make sure we release Guamar as part of us losing the war. Big brain. Now let's see who their overlord is. That would be Matzlatipalaplan. Wait, Matzlatipalaplan has all of the leftover nations as their subject. Oh my god, they are the big boys here. Time to have World War Central America. Scratch that. It seems like we have to attack the Creek because they've just attacked the dirty teens colony. Wait, no. Oh, it was Chickasaw that attacked them. Oh my lord. I attacked the wrong nation. Well, I guess we're gonna have to attack. Both the Creek and the Chickasaw now. Imagine having a war started because you're not paying attention to who's actually attacking your subject. I'm betting a lot of IRL wars happen like that too. Like they just misunderstood something that somebody else said, and it led to a massive world war. Another cool part about the EU5 is that you can actually use the WASD keys to move the map around. You don't need to just use the mouse or the keys. You have that from default, which is such a game changer. Honestly, funny how the main thing I wanted to do here was get Delhi out of the war, but I haven't even managed to reach Delhi lands yet. I guess we're just gonna fully carpet siege all of Bahmanis before we get to the Delians, and I believe that is the event for the end of Ming. We've got Yue, we've got Wu, we've got Shun, and we got gems apparently as well. In Micronesia, what is the default thing? Wood? You know what? I'm okay with wood, but gems is better. Let's just go for gems. This is the great projects I was talking about. Extra 5% settler chance and 25 global settlers. We're gonna upgrade this to max as soon as we can. We're gonna have to get rid of these rebels beforehand though. Oh, 157 aggressive expansion for that? Ain't no way. It would appear like all of the natives are gonna be upset with us, but you know what? I couldn't give less of a schnitzel, to be honest with y'all, because the natives altogether don't have even guns, okay? There's no guns here, and there's never gonna be any. End of story. Also, to be able to prevent these colonials from actually triggering a coalition, I'm gonna start attacking them one by one until they're all gone. We also can now do settle in the Americas because we've got more than 10 provinces in colonial East America, and we got a conquistador from that too, as well as the Act of Representation or the Taxation Act. So the question is, are we gonna be taxing without representation? Huh? Yeah, no, I'm gonna go for the representation. We shall not be taxing without representation because I got a bad feeling if we start doing that, I feel like it might end up bad for us. Oh, hold on a second. I just saw another thing. Delhi has low war enthusiasm, so that means we probably could peace out Delhi. Yes, we can. This particular peace deal might seem a tiny bit unorthodox, but it actually makes a ton of sense when you think about the fact that we want to connect our provinces, and we also want to make sure we never let Bahmanis recover. So by splitting up their country into multiple little pieces, we basically achieve exactly that. Nobody gives a single schnitzel. We literally have 11 aggressive expansion with Bengal, for example. It's not the case for the East Indians, though. The East Indians got a ton of aggressive expansion. They got 70 with Malwa, 71 with Sindh, and so on, but we're not too worried about that because we got their back, don't we now? Getting this deal also allowed me to start more wars now, such as the war against the Bengalis. And let's see, when is the truce over with Gujarat? 1 year. Okay, so I'm going to focus on Gujarat next, actually, because Gujarat is really good lands for me to get. Similarly, Sindh would not be the worst idea for us to attack now. You guys want to see my aggressive expansion map mode for North America? Nobody. Why is that? Despite having the aggressive expansion and the war deal, because all of that went to the Dirty Teens colony, and this is actually super exploitable. They declared a coalition war against the Dirty Teens. However, I enforced peace on the coalition leader, and because of that they basically went to peace, right? So they didn't need to fight all of the coalition of North American nations, and by the time the truce is over, I will have attacked everybody, because remember, I don't get the truce if I enforce that peace. That's a truce between the Dirty Teens and all of the North Americans. That's it. In essence, this is one of the biggest exploits imaginable, because it literally means you can conquer all of North America without having to worry about coalitions at any point during that campaign. Now, these provinces here, I'm gonna give to Louis Anal, because I like this particular colony to get 10 provinces strong as well, not just Dirty Teens. All right now, Bubba, time for the war. Ahmedabad is the war target. We're gonna give that to the East Indians. We're advancing through this like so fast. Remember that literally 6 years ago we had like 5 provinces here. Now we basically have 25% of this entire area. Wait, we don't have artillery in this army? What the hell? Yeah, hire some artillery here, shall we? Now, I just realized something. Me giving all of these provinces, with a couple of exceptions, to the East India Company pretty much means that I'm expanding with zero aggressive expansion, doesn't it? It really does. Like, if they declare war on my subject, I'm just gonna enforce a peace deal and they will accept to the peace deal. So basically I can expand anywhere with my subjects in India and in the New World without any aggressive expansion. That feels insanely broken now that I think about it. Now, since we are at peace, we're gonna do a few things too. Namely, we're gonna start incorporating or integrating Gascony, and also we got a little bit lucky with the Catholic Defender of the Faith being taken from us by the Spaniards, which is good. It's actually really good if you ask me. Look how fast we're doing this, man. Like, we literally have so much of India already, and we're going to continue to expand with basically no repercussions. That's just brilliant. It's also attempt to circumnavigate the globe. There we go. Since we're not Defender of the Faith anymore, we can now found a new state church, Anglicanism. It will become our state religion, and we have brand new abilities with the Anglicans. First thing we can do is handle the reformation here, since we went full-on Anglican, and we get piety of the state, which gives us some government reform progress. It unlocks the church aspect, spread the Book of Common Prayer, and it lowers the clergy land by 3%. This is actually huge. If we go back here, spread the Book of Common Prayers basically lowers the rebel uprising by 20, which is pretty good, but there's a lot of other amazing aspects here that we're gonna be prioritizing over that, such as the deportation of heretics. Randomly owned colony gets 100 population, increases settler secular chance and religious unity, or we can get the one stability. We don't have issues with that. Mercantilism is huge. Lower the crownlands of the clergy. We can get a new consort if we don't have one, or divorce the current consort. Let's just say that this is a very finely tuned and very British religion, almost as if it was created by one man to make sure that he can do whatever he wants in the marital field, let's say. I think the first one I'm going to go for is going to be the innovation and reform progress gain, and we're also going to go for defender of the faith so we more easily convert provinces. Now I am of course going to prioritize the provinces with higher religious unity, because religious unity is going to be a bit of an issue for us now, so I need to get more missionaries as consequence. An easy way to do that is to go into the Middle East, attack the Mamelukes, and grab a couple of provinces here that would be let's just say missionary friendly. Also, if we go into the north, we could attack the Norwegians, take Bratislavan, and that's an extra missionary we could get once we reach level 2 with this particular monument. Right now they're a junior partner of the Danes, but that really wouldn't be that big of a deal. Poland, Ditmarsken, Denmark is actually pretty easy. Poland's pretty weak too. They don't have the union, so it would be basically a cakewalk, wouldn't it? Oh, Poland actually I could ally for that matter. No, I'm not gonna do that though. Seeing as I still have church power, I can go also for the deportation of heretics just so I can help out with my colonial endeavors, and I'm gonna be enforcing religion on my colonies now. This way it might be a little bit painful, but the earlier I enforce this religion on the colonies, the faster they start converting all of their lands to my religion. I should be seeing this as a major priority for them to convert their provinces to my religion overall. For that matter, also enforce my culture. How come this nation is not my culture? Louis Zaniel, I thought we oh no, wait, it's not because they actually already got American as their primary culture. Right. So I changed from American back to English. Oh, they're starting to get to form their American identity in the new world. That's why. Oh, that's so cool, man. I'm basically just stomping out Americanism in the new world right now. Because we have significantly less than 50 religious unity, we will be getting the religious turmoil. That means we're going to have to navigate our way through this disaster, because I'm not going to be able to convert everything in time, unfortunately. I could say help out with converting a little bit faster by doing religious unity edict, but it's not going to make a major difference. It's just going to help a little bit, I guess you could say. Oof, the East Indian Company has a lot of debt, but that's a good thing, because the more debt I pay off, the lower their liberty desire is going to get as I progress in the campaign. Time to also do a little bit of spring cleaning here. We need to make sure we don't have to worry about Central America for the rest of the campaign, because I want to just give a little bit more attention to the northern parts of the Americas, and to the south for that matter too. We were lucky enough to get the Panama Canal, so that's a big W for us, because the Portuguese have been really ramping up their adventures in Colombia, as have the Spaniards here. I'm going to be taking advantage a little bit afterwards, and I'm going to be getting a next colony in Pastos, which will allow me to attack Quito. So we're going to start getting a spy network in Quito already. We can even pull back this colonist and send over another one here. Hey, it worked. We're converting so much faster with this edict enabled. The really cool part about not expanding much is that we're not really using our mana points for pretty much anything really. So we have a lot of stocked up mana points. So what we can do is we can start developing our provinces. But of course, as you would imagine, I'm only going to develop provinces that have already been converted to my religion. So I'm going to wait a little bit. Maybe we can just convert a few provinces around the greater London area, such as Kent, which is not a bad idea actually. Heck, even Oxford, since it is already Anglican, we can convert a little bit more. And with the admin points, as you would imagine, we can do the classic expansion of infrastructure, which as you guys know can be done every 15 development points. So once we get London, for example, to 45 development, let's actually do that now, why not? We can expand infrastructure again, and this comes with a massive array of benefits as consequence. London is officially the city of the world's desire, far outshining. What? How the hell did this happen? The Venetians managed to grab Constantinople, and they're fairly strong. 77,000. Yeah, they're really strong actually. 124. They've got a bigger fleet than the Ottomans and about the same army size as the Ottomans, although the Ottomans are allied to Bohemia, the Venetians are allied to the Lithuania. What is happening here? What is actually happening here? I need answers right now. What the hell? Why is it when I don't play in the Balkans that we have the coolest situation happening in the Balkans? And this has to be the most insane thing. The fact that we're getting zero aggressive expansion by just flat out giving these provinces to our subjects. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It is absolutely freaking keck. Look at this. Oh, look, 65 aggressive expansion, but it's not my aggressive expansion, so it does not freaking matter at all. Literally at all, it doesn't matter. Oh, I love this. I mean, check out this map mode here. They barely hate us, okay? If we look at the Macarena's map mode, ooh, everybody hates the Macarena, boys. Everyone. They're the bad guys, really. They were the bad guys all along. Now, seeing as I am actually struggling with my religious unity, I'm gonna give some provinces to the East Indians in India. Basically, I should have given this from the beginning, but it's fine. I wanted to keep some for myself. I just realized now that it's better to just give them out because, well, less religious unity issues, and more importantly, I kind of want to have just one massive nation in India, you know? I just want to have the East Indian Company as the only nation in India. I don't even want to have provinces for myself here. There you go. This looks a lot better, doesn't it? I actually just realized the Irish have their own unique... This is the most Irish looking sprite I've seen ever, man. Well, let's check the coalition map mode of the East India Company. Everybody hates them. I wonder why. Well, you know what's the easiest way to deal with that? Attacking the members of the coalition in separate wars, because we can do that because we are not the target of the coalition. Free expansion, boys. Also, what the hell? When did Afghanistan get this massive? I have questions right now. Persia and Afghanistan absolutely dominate the Middle East right now. The religious stance of the emperor will be the reformation must be enforced in the lands of the HRE. That is pretty much a precursor to the religious wars. When that happens, of course, we shall take the stance of the Protestant League, the only true religion in Europe, if you ask me. Although technically it's a massive amount of different religions. It's not really one religion is now. The Neapolitan Republican emissaries, hails to the yes, we're gonna support that. Anything to weaken the Spaniards is in our interest right now. Oh boys, I just realized, guys, we got gunpowder units. Well, technically the Indians do start pretty much with gunpowder, right? They have a military tech 5, they have gunpowder units, so I guess they just got the better gunpowder units now. Let's withdraw a little bit and reinforce our main army stack there, because this might be a little bit more difficult than I expected it to be originally. Never underestimate your enemy, as that great Chinese saying goes, right? A 344 as our heir. No thanks. The religious civil disorder. This is not good. We have two options. We can eradicate the rebels or strive for tolerant society. I don't even know what those words mean. Tolerance. What? What are you talking about there, buddy boy? Let's go ahead and hire some mercenaries so we can wipe out these scum. Actually, you know what? I might just get a regular army to enforce my religious will in the Isles. We're basically going over the force limit a tiny bit, but it is necessary because we're likely going to get a lot of rebellions in the British Isles happening. And at this point, we are military tech 12, so it's significantly cheaper hiring regular units than it is hiring mercenaries. In fact, if you are using mercenaries after military tech 7, you are technically losing a lot more money than you would from having regular units, because regular units increase in upkeep cost by 2% per level and mercenaries increase by 8% per level. So whilst mercenaries may be cheaper initially in the campaign, as you progress they get significantly more expensive. I mean, you guys probably know this, right? This is in essence EU4 101. I probably said this like a lot of times as well in the previous videos if you watch them. Can someone explain to me also why I'm taking forts at 71% and the enemy's taking them at 7%? I mean, Gorwar fell at 7%. I had the barrage and it still didn't fall, and it had like 300 garrison. Like, come on, what is this game, bro? What is this game? You cannot run away, Delhi. There you go. That looks a lot better to me. That's the amount of units you should have. 0. I love how it also informs me when another state in the homelands has been fully converted, because I gotta change the edict. Mandu? What if a woman do? Oh wait, this is India, I forgot. I'm gonna take about half of Malwa, because we can also use the rest of that to just cancel whatever alliances they might have that are significant. And that way, perhaps their neighbors will attack them afterwards, and then we don't need to worry about Malwa at all for the rest of the campaign. Oh no, we're gonna have a repeat of the previous thing. Chichimeca is a vassal of Matlinka, so when I annex them, I'm gonna get Chichimeca as a vassal, aren't I? All that is just annoying. Oh, Austria inherited Hungary. That's so lucky. They didn't even need to annex Hungary. They just inherited them. That is crazy lucky right there. Again, the one time I don't play in the Balkans, the most interesting things are happening in the Balkans. I swear, man. Come on, fall Kale. Fall Kalat. Fall right now. Fall for the Lords of the Folius. If you fall in one tick, I'm gonna just do something crazy. I'm gonna no CB Byzantium. They don't exist, so technically I cannot really do that. And you also didn't fall, okay? The deal is off. Okay, I'm too lazy to wait for this shit. Come on, just assault the scumbags. We got a lot of manpower. We can handle ourselves. We'll be fine, boys. I want to piece out the Afghanis. Another mission done. Colonization of the Spice Islands. That unlocks the Spice Parliament issue and increases the chance of discovering spices whilst colonizing a province. Increases the chance to discover cloves whilst... Whoa. Does that mean we would have a chance of discovering cloves anywhere? I mean, anywhere? Because if that's the case and we get cloves everywhere, that's actually better than gold. All right, Kabul, it's time for you to fall, baby. Come on, you know you want to fall. Fall for little Papa here. Question is now what we're going to do with the Afghanis. Do we want to just cancel some of their alliances, like the one with Chagatai and the one with the... They're allied to the freaking Ottomans? Are you serious right now? Ain't no freaking way. Actual no way they're allied to the Ottomans. Brother. Yeah, Afghanistan, you don't need that alliance, bro. Trust me. Seeing as Persia is between Afghanistan and the Ottomans are not a superpower technically in this run. So there's kind of a dynamic here going on between Ottomans, Mamluks, Persia, and Afghanistan. Four great powers, amongst which, of course, the Ottomans are still the strongest, but overall a little bit more balanced than it would otherwise be. And the Spaniards are also close by. Holy schnitzel, the Spaniards are trying to restore Rome, aren't they? I'm calling it right now. First AI restoration of the Roman Empire ever. Actually, that does beg the question, doesn't it? Has the AI ever restored the Roman Empire? And I'm asking that to make sure you ignored the fact that we attacked that with the river crossing, because that would imply I'm a horrible player. And it's better you don't know that. I love how we basically have zero influence and close to zero crownlands owned by the clergy because of the Anglican Church. It's kind of like the one religion that's somehow anti-clergy. It's a derpy one for sure. I also absolutely hate the fact that I'm not able to fully annex the entirety of Sind. I feel like I should be able to. Them staying as an OPM is going to lead to no good because they're likely going to ally some massive Ottomans or something and make my life a living hell when I'm trying to take the rest of India. Oh, hey, speaking of the rest of India, we just got claims, permanent claims for the East India Company on the Deccan and the Western Indian region. So that means pretty much all of India now. Yep, that's it. The entirety of India is basically permanent claims of ours now. Hey, you want to also see something amazing? Look, there's zero aggressive expansion towards us now. Just nobody click here. Nobody click on the East India Company, okay? Nobody do that. Have my colonies started converting provinces? They have. Oh, beautiful. We have so much Anglican already. That's amazing. Anglicans are taking over the world officially. And like, no, seriously, we are actually taking over the world in this game. A reformation of the Catholic faith. You know what would be like really, really awesome? If we were to release every single one of our colonies and we were to just stay as the British Isles, right? Whilst the entire planet is Anglican, English, or American or whatever within our culture group, we would just stay as the British Isles. That's it. And see if we can compete with that by basically just playing insanely tall in the British Isles, which we have been doing, to be fair. We have been playing pretty tall here, but playing even taller than that is what I'm talking about. And right now we do have pretty much workshops almost everywhere, barracks as well, courthouses literally everywhere in the British Isles, and we're going to do manufactories too, and so on. We do need to get some more development in some of these provinces. Like here, for example, we haven't really developed Northern England at all for that matter, so let's actually do that right now since we have the extra mana points. Click. Oh my god, this is 15 to develop. Holy schnatzeldorf. There we go, up to 15. Expand infrastructure, and again, it's only 17 mana to develop this, despite having been developed 10 times already. This is where I'm going to be taking the city of Vijayanagar itself, since it is a really high development. I think it's the highest development in the Indian subcontinent, if I'm not mistaken. No, apparently Bidar is that. Only 22 development. They don't have much development in India right now, but if we were to wait and take their provinces later, they will start developing. So I'd rather take this when it's 18 development than when they develop this to 35 or something of the sorts. It just occurred to me that there's actually another nation here. I thought this was just my lands, but no, Perpetua is a completely different nation. They sneakily camouflage themselves into this land to basically make it impossible for me to see them. Not gonna lie, I'm both impressed and excited now to see what alliances they have. Let's see. Are they allied to the only other nation alive here, Xalisco? Yes, they are. Apparently, they freaking are. The bright side, you're both gonna go down together as good broskies. It's official, all of Central America belongs to Macarena. When it comes to the East India Company, we're gonna be giving them significantly more lands than they ever expected to have. Boom shakalaka dons, that is a big chunk, a pretty sizable chunk, isn't it? There's still gonna be a few wars before we fully annex them though, because they're pretty massive. But until that happens, let's go ahead and attack Bahmani's next for the province of Bidar. And seeing as we're not really doing much of anything else, we're also going to be attacking Zuni, Pima, and everybody on the west coast and central parts of America, which means we're going to be getting a lot of lands from these lands, so we can basically establish a couple new colonies in the North American parts. The War of the Protestant League has triggered. Let's make sure our Protestant brothers get the support they need. I'm actually going to check how much aggressive expansion East India Company has right now, because they're definitely up in there. Let's see. Oh my god, they got aggressive expansion with the Mamluks as well? That's actually crazy. Holy schnitzel, that's actually crazy. Maybe I should just take stuff directly from me from now on. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Oh, we just integrated Gascony. Nice. That means we have an extra army we can use over in the French land. So I'm going to keep one army in France, one army in the actual mainland British Isles. And I'm going to be disbanding these little schnitzel dwarfs and merging the trade ships with the other ships that we have in the English Channel already. We're still a little bit over the force limit, but we could actually make more provinces full state. So we can do that from the newly added provinces of Gascony. Why is it called British California? If we're the ones that discovered this area, why can we not call it something else, right? In California, that's the Spanish version, because they're the ones that historically took it. But if we're the first ones there, maybe we should get the option of changing the name to whatever we want. I mean, you can trust us with naming lands, right? Totally feel like you can trust us with naming stuff. Okay, we also can now do the early industry. Until the end of the game, we get in some provinces goods produce modifier increase and a lot of development. Also, coal is now available if we have embraced the manufacturing industry institution and have reached admin tech 23. So we can basically use coal and the 5% goods produced that it offers per coal furnace about 50 years before anybody else can, which means that as the British, you literally can become richer than anyone else can if you play your cards right. Now, seeing as the emperor of the HRE is Austria, me joining on the side of the Protestants really pissed them off, so they're going to be canceling their alliance with me, an alliance that is likely I'm not going to get afterwards. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe I should make a bid for the emperorship, right? Well, no, it would be Protestant emperor, unless we drag the war off for long enough till the point where we get the Peace of Westphalia as the dominant religion path, which means any religion can become the HRE emperor, and then maybe they're going to vote for me. Let's see. I'm going to start improving relations with the electors. Oh my god, that was the fastest declaration of war ever. Holy schnitzel. The Cado have also joined in a coalition against me directly, so I'm going to have to curb that coalition by attacking them ASAP to bring our units by the border with Cado. They are technically one of the two nations that could join in that coalition, so it doesn't make much of a difference, but still. We're going to leave it here for this part of the campaign. Let me know in the comment section how you're enjoying it so far, and I will see you in the next one.